Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Jonny Lipsham.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Live with me, Jonny Lipsham, over at Jonny Lipsham Studios in Edinburgh, Scotland, capital of the world, the universe, and everything in it. I hope everyone has had a good day, and I realize you can't actually see me. There we go. Hope everyone has had a good week, and welcome to Sunday. This is going to be a short show tonight because I am absolutely exhausted. I have had a very, very busy weekend, and I can't really talk about what's been going on just yet, but rest assured, you will. I will be able to spill the beans in the very foreseeable future. It's just I can't really talk about it just yet, but most definitely you guys will know when I am able to talk about it. But it's not work related, so it's not Personas related. It's more kind of family related. Yeah, more kind of family, and it's a little bit more of a new adventure, shall we say, for me, for my wife, and my kids. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're really excited, and like I said, I will reveal more when I'm able to. Hang on, let me just get this mic in a better position. There we go. So let's see who is here. Who is here tonight? Tony Stringer was here. He says, I'm looking forward to seeing this. That's awesome. Very glad to have you here. Ken Moss, Kyle is here. You guys are talking away. Bob Studios is here. He says, greetings from Bob's Botanical Gardens. Hello, glad to have you here. And Kevin is here as well. Thomas over in the Philippines is here. And Music to Motion is here as well. Awesome. So that's pretty much all we have right now. We only have 13, which is a bit of a shame. And that's probably because I have completely forgotten to advertise this in the group. So I should probably go do that. And yep, I have totally forgotten all about this. So let's copy that link there. Let's go over here. And let's go and post this over here. I totally forgot to do any of this today because I've just been in such a rush all day. And I don't know if any of my moderators are here or not. Come and join my Sunday night live show on now. Yep, totally forgot to advertise this. This is probably why we have so few people here. Because normally people respond to the ads. So sorry about that, everybody. Where else can we post this? We'll post this over here as well. Let's stick that in there. There we go, that's better. And then we'll go to Home Studio Trainer support group. Put it in there as well. I totally forgot to do any of this. Mika Hand's here as well. He says, hope you all are well. Yeah, so this is going to be a short show because I am absolutely bushed. I've had a very, very, very long day. In fact, I've had a very long weekend. I really feel like I'm ready for a weekend when I've got to start work again tomorrow. So, yep, it's been one of those weeks. I will do one more. Paste that in there as well. And we'll see how many people catches up. Hopefully a few more people will catch us up. But Louis from Alps Media is here as well. Mika says, I don't need a YouTube reminder. I still have a few memory cells in my no smartphone zone. Yeah, I know. Hopefully most people just remember because you come here all the time anyway, and you know that it's 6 p.m. on a Sunday. So even if I don't advertise it, folks hopefully should just get the idea that that's kind of what happens and when it happens. So yeah. So for the few of you that are here, let's get to your questions. I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to close that because I don't need that anymore. And we've got 16 people. Where we would normally have like 25 or 20, 24, 25 is what we would normally have. So it would be nice if we could get up to that kind of level. So I hope everybody has had a good week, and I hope everyone is doing well. I have had an emotional roller coaster of a week. I will tell you that. For those of you that aren't aware, and you probably are, but Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, died this weekend, on Friday, I think it was. And so basically we have had total wall-to-wall coverage on pretty much every channel that we have here in the UK. On his death, his funeral was, I think his funeral is happening soon, but it was like his kind of memorial thing, this weekend. So that's kind of been a bit of a big news story here in the UK. Not that I'm, not that that's what this channel is all about, but that's kind of been a big thing this weekend, for most people here in the UK. But yeah, I can't really divulge any of the details on kind of my weekend, unfortunately. Normally I like to talk about it, but I will in due course, and you will get to hear all about it. But we're waiting for confirmation of a couple of things before I can really talk about it. So once that is done and dusted, then I will be able to tell you a little bit more about it. But at the moment, it's kind of just immediate family only that know about it. It just wouldn't be sous chef, head chef time without Jonny's entertainment and discussion. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think tonight really is just going to be a hangout with you guys. So I have no agenda. I have nothing really to talk about particularly. But certainly do give me your questions, and I will try and answer them the best I can. And that may, I suppose, involve a little bit of that, maybe a little bit more tunefully than that. But yes, so hopefully that would be the case. Let's see. What do we have? Do we have anyone asking some questions? No, not yet. How could anyone be truly shocked or surprised that a 99-year-old man could have met his maker? Well, exactly. And you know what? He had been in hospital, and we, to be honest, my wife and I, we were quite amazed that he actually got out of the hospital alive. So Luke Goya is here. Hello, Luke. Welcome to the show. You actually get a fanfare because this is your first time. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. And you're from Canada. Awesome. I have family in Canada. I have family just outside of Toronto, who I have met maybe once in my entire life. I do like the Jetsons theme song. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure someone will tell me. All right, so if you guys have got Studio One questions or Personas questions or songwriting, arranging questions or mixing, mastering, music production questions, get them into the chat now and we can look at those. And if that means I need to open up Studio One to demonstrate stuff, I can do that too. Vital Caron says about Present XT, how to set up the different note variations. Oh, are you referring to the key switches slash sound variations, as they are now called. Yeah, it's Gregor has done a much better video than I could possibly do on this, and so has Lucas Rudziska, who both of them are very good friends of mine, and they have done outstanding videos on this already on the Personas website. But let me go open a new song, and hopefully I can at least give you a little bit of guidance on this. So let's go to instruments, and we'll get presence in. And let me find something that is going to help us out here. Let's get maybe tenor sax in here. Oh, those already have key switches. Let's see. Let me find something that's going to work for us here. Let me see. Will this do the job? No. Okay. Let's switch over to Studio One. So you can actually see what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. All right, so I have the nylon guitar, which I don't have switched on. Hang on. That's because I've not got the track activated. Let's get the other keyboard switched on. It'll be a lot easier. I'm doing that on the Atom SQ, and it's fine. All right, so we have that set up now. All right, so we have key switches down the bottom here. That's what this red area is here. And as you can see, not every note has a red area. And they are labeled. So this one is open, that one's hammer-ons. And then this one is deads. And this one's some slide harmonics, and then you got slides here, and you got some different effects ones here. So to get the key switches going, you actually just need to select one of these. So if I was to select this one here, you got some nice harmonics there, and then we've got some slides. Some of you might recognize that if you like Chopman Jonny. So you got these different key switches here, and then the cool thing is that you can record something. If I go back to this sound here, we can record something. Let's get our click track on. Something like that. I have no idea what it was. I was just totally making that up. And then we can go into the editor, and then we can go to this sound variations thing here, and we can click on this wrench, and this opens up all the sound variations that are available. So let's say for this first note here, we want a slide. So we can just drag that across. But we don't want slides for all notes. So we can select this note here, and we can say we want this one to be just a normal open tone. So we can select that there. So now our first note, which for some reason ain't playing, hang on, let's just move that across the bar. And then let's say this last note here, we wanted to have this as a hammer-on. And that's how it works, pretty much. All right, so that's how that works with the sound variations. It's very cool. It's very effective. Lots of fun. So I hope that helped. Just Bob is here as well. Hey, welcome. I'm glad you're here. He says, sorry I'm late. Busy packing for a 3-week trip. Work related in Texas. Awesome. Nice. And you're leaving tomorrow. Okay, cool. Tim Talks Audio is here as well, which is also very, very good to see. Thank you, Tim, for coming. And She Studios has joined us as well. Who else has joined us? Music to Motion is here. I think I mentioned him already. Kyle is here. Mika asks, do you have a quick and dirty workflow to preserve automation created before transformation for use after transforming a track, either audio or instrument? I don't, actually, and I'll tell you why. And that is simply because I don't use a lot of automation. And to be honest, when I do use automation, I don't tend to transform. And that's probably mostly because I'm just lazy about it, to be honest. It's more that than anything else. Yeah. You know, I just tend to leave the automation in the automation lane, and I'll just hide it, because you've got the expand envelopes feature in Studio One now, which means you can, hang on, you can show and hide them. So if I go over to this other song, you should be able to see this a little bit better. I'm sure you're familiar with this. Let's get the mixer out of the way. But yeah, on any of these channels, I can just open up the envelopes here. So if I've done volume automation on these background vocals, for example, I tend to just leave them and just close it up like that, so they're out of the way. I don't tend to transform. But that's just me. I know some of yous like to do it. I think on some other songs, maybe I've done that. And yeah. But yeah, for the most part, that would be what I do. Is I just collapse. I just open these. I do what I need to do. And the cool thing is you can add a lane to this. So it defaults to volume and pan, but you can add whatever it is that you've got. Say on this alto sax, maybe I've got volume and pan automation, but maybe I've also got some other things like a particular effect that I'm bypassing, and I've got automation on that bypass. Then you can add this to this little section here, and then you can just close it up and hide them away. So that's kind of what I do. I know that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but that's kind of what I do. Let's see, what else do we have? 9 Day Sound Studio is here. And I think you're new to my show as well. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. And you retracted your message. Just Bob said, would Deads be like palm mute on guitar? Well, we can explore that one as well. Let's go back over to the other song because I'm not 100% certain. Let's go to, where is it? So if I went to Deads and played those. Oh, it's not on because I've not flipping got the track on. That's kind of what it's like. So I hope that kind of answers that question. Let's see. Mike Neighbors here says hello, just popping in, not hanging out real long. Yeah, long day, bad day. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you've had a bad day. I'm not going to be on here very long because I am absolutely exhausted. I've had a tough day. But not a bad day. I personally haven't had a bad day. It's just been a long and stressful one, basically. Dan Kenny is here. Billy Morgan's here as well. He says, good evening, everyone. God bless. Good evening to you too, Billy. Dan Kenny says, what changes makes a scene in the mix scene to display mismatch? That's a great question. I have no idea because I don't use the mix scenes. Yeah, I don't actually use the mix scene, so I would not know what you are referring to, I'm afraid. Don't use it a lot. Bob Studio says, expand envelope. Okay, so that is editable. I'm not sure what you mean by is that editable. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. You can certainly edit automation, because that's the idea. It's just, the idea is that these can be hidden away. So, you know, I can do automation here. Not that there's anything to automate, and then once I'm happy with that, then I can just close that. And then you can, you know, you can do whatever automation you want in these. See the little finger comes up? Just enables me to do simple automation on these two that are just automatically there available. The mouse just changes, and then I can close that up. It's out of the way, but the automation still happens. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Yeah, that's not quite palm muty. Yeah, you're right. It kind of isn't. But yeah. Mika says, see, no one seems to have encountered the automation quote-unquote issue as an issue. Strange that every other door has a checkbox allowing exclusion and preservation of automation for render. Okay. I mean, anytime I've done any automation and I bounce a mix down, the automation gets printed to that mix down. But yeah, it otherwise doesn't bother me. Let's see. Peter Brooks is here. Hello, Peter. How are you doing? I hope you're all right. Have you ever had a dream where you can hear beautiful music? Yes, I've had several dreams like that. I have an extremely good musical memory. And so when that has happened to me, I have manuscript paper and a pen by my side of the bed. And when I wake up from those, the first thing I do is I start transcribing what I have heard. And then I play it back. I go back to sleep. So I transcribe it. Then I go back to sleep. And then when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I come in here and I play what I've transcribed to see if it really is what I thought it was. Sometimes what I play what I play from my little transcription actually turns out to be really, 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 really awesome and special, and not, not what I expected it to be. And sometimes I'm just like, maybe I didn't really hear it very well. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes it happens. Let's see. Mika says, the H key cycles the visible automation of a track without opening a lane. Check it out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's probably what it does. But that's pretty cool. Good to know. Thank you for that. Let's see. What else we got? Billy Morgan is wanting to invite folks to his Sphere workspace. However, this really isn't the place to be doing that, Billy. However, if you're on Facebook, there is a Facebook group which is called Persona Sphere, unimaginatively named. I know, nothing to do with me. Talk to Personas Marketing. They were the guys that came up with that. There are lots of people there that are Persona Sphere members, because you kind of have to be to join that group. And you can kind of meet people there, and then you can meet them, you can become Facebook friends, you can take that conversation out of the group, and then you can get involved in collaborating with people there. There is also a Persona Sphere Discord server, which my good friend Robert, I forget his last name, Pilkington, that's his last name. He set that up, and I am in there as one of the administrators, and it's very, very cool. And it's just another place where you can meet other users of Persona Sphere, and you can get to meet people there, and you can put in the relevant section, because there are several different rooms within the Discord server where you can meet other people, and you can request collaborations, and you can put all of your workspace details in there. There's a good lot of people there now already. There's a good lot of people there already, which is really cool. So I very, very much recommend, if you are into Discord, that you go and get yourself on that Discord server. There's a chat room. There's a whole bunch of other things there, and it's only just started, so we're kind of in the early stages of the Discord server. But I'm pretty sure, talking to Robert, we've got some really good ideas for expanding it and taking it forward, and just it becoming a really, really valuable resource for Persona Sphere members, and a way for them to kind of meet other users and get to know each other. So that's kind of where things are at with that. So go and check those things out, Billy, because they are the best place to invite people into collaborations. There's a lot of very, very gifted and talented people over there already. We are up to 22 people. Yes, that is much more like what I was expecting, so that's cool. Tim says, I'm in the Persona Sphere Discord server. I also have my own. I've got my own Discord server as well, which I have yet to actually use, but I do have one. Which I initially set up because some time ago I was going to start a membership of Jonny Lipsham Studios. So you could actually become a member of my website, and I was going to start all of that up, and then as part of the paid membership program, you'd pay a certain amount of money per month, and you become a member. There's a whole bunch of other benefits that would have been there, and one of those was the Discord server. I decided not at this point in time to pursue a membership aspect of my website. So that's kind of on hold. Don't know when I'm actually going to go ahead and do it, but the Discord server is kind of there, sat there doing nothing. So maybe I will do something with the Discord server at least. And that might be just another great way for us to hang out. And maybe a place for all of you guys to meet together pre-show on a Sunday. so that you can then kind of like chat amongst yourselves and then come over to the show. That might be a cool place for you guys to do that. And maybe I might actually provide, some other little bits and pieces over there that would just be fun for you guys to get involved with. I will have a chat to my moderating team about those kind of ideas and see what they think. And we'll see if we can make that happen. Let's see. Bob has a wee little problem, and I need to go up and find out what that was. Just Bob says, my computer died on Saturday. Hopefully, we'll be able to figure it out when I get back. Bob, I'm really sorry to hear that your computer packed up. I remember when that happened with one of my computers, and it was pretty devastating because I lost a lot of work that I could not recover from a hard drive. Like a whole album which I had already released it, but there's no way for me to do any remixes. There's no way for me to do remasters. There's no way for me to do any other reprints or anything like that, or reissues. I can't do any of that because the original song files and the projects from the mastering are gone because the computer fritzed and destroyed the hard drive. So I feel your pain. I definitely do. Let's see. If your computer is just shutting itself down, and you don't get a blue screen of death or something like that, then I would suspect that there's maybe an issue with your power supply for the computer. That would be worth investigating, because as it turns out, the computer I was referring to that frits itself, the issue there was a power supply overloading. And when the power supply overloaded, it sent a spike of electricity into the hard drive, and the hard drive just went bang. It's the only time I've ever heard of it happening. It's the only time I've ever seen it happen. And yeah, a whole record just totally went up in smoke. Let's see. Bob says, hopefully I can recover. Otherwise, it's going to be a long road to recovery. VST instruments and such. Studio One on new computer. The cool thing about Studio One, transferring Studio One from one computer to another is actually really easy, because you have the 5 activations of your Studio One license in your MyPreSonus account. So the easy thing about that is you just need to log into your account and download the installer, just like you did the very first time that you got Studio One. And then once you download that installer, you run it, and then you activate Studio One, just like you always would. You will have to download all the content again, so like the sound sets and all of that stuff, because that will have existed on your other computer and not this one. So just kind of basically install Studio One as if you're doing it for the very first time, because that's what it's going to be like. And you'll need to do the same for any third-party plugins that you had before, and all of that. So I hope you're able to recover your songs folder. If you're able to get that off your old computer and onto your new computer, then all you would need to do is just point Studio One in locations, user data. You just point that section there in that little box there to your new location for your songs folder. Once you've done that, the recent files list will be blank, but every time you open a song and save it, you will repopulate that recent files list. And all should be well. I mean, I have a new computer. I needed to upgrade to Windows 10. My old computer, which is sat just over there behind the keyboards here, I could not upgrade that to Windows 10, so I had to buy a new computer altogether. And so I have been through that, and just recently, and had to install, a whole bunch of plugins. Not maybe thousands of plugins like some people have to. But yeah, it's still, it's still like a good 2 or 3 hours of kind of installing things and logging into user accounts and making sure that passwords are correct, and making sure passwords were saved and all of that business. It was quite a palaver, but I got through it and managed to get my system set up kind of pretty much as it was on my other computer. It's just that it's Windows 10 and not Windows 7, and it worked really well. Your song folder luckily is on an external hard drive. Well, you are sorted, because you can just literally copy that songs folder, which contains all of the folders for your individual songs. You can just copy that entire folder onto your new computer. Or you can just point your external hard drive, your Studio One on your new computer, to that location on your external hard drive, and you will have 100% complete access to your songs, and you should not get any missing files errors, because you have copied the entire, or you're pointing to the entire songs folder. So you are good, and you're in a better position than I was all those years ago. So, but that's really cool. Lowen says, if your system dies, do you lose your PreSonus license? No, you don't. You don't. Like I said, I had that with my Windows 7 computer. I needed to buy a new computer. All you do is just download, install Studio One, and activate it. It will take up one of your activations. That's fine. But if it's an old computer that you know that you're not going to need to use anymore, you can go into your My PreSonus account and you can go to Products, Software, click on Studio One, and then on the product page there, all you need to do is just manage your activations. Click on the Manage Activations button, and then once in there you should see all your activations for your Studio One license, and you can just remove the computer that you're just not going to be using anymore, because it's either dead or it's as good as dead, whichever it is. So you can do that. But you don't lose your license at all. Your license is your license, and it remains in your my.presonus.com account. So you are good. Let's see. With my Akai MPC, you have to go online with that system and release the license first. And when the system crashed, it made me lose the license. Oh dear, that's not so good. Well, yeah, it's a good thing that PreSonus doesn't do that. So you're good. Ken says, I had an issue with the battery on an old desktop, kind of like a watch battery to keep the clock in, CMOS, etc. Even when PC was shut down, replaced that and all was good. Don't know if that's your problem yet. It might well be. Bobby Booth makes a suggestion here. He says, try to install the OS again. You can certainly do that. That might help. But if a computer is just basically shutting itself down in the middle of doing anything, even if you don't get the blue screen of death, if it is shutting down for any, just out of the blue shutting down and restarting itself, then it's probably either a motherboard thing going on, a processor thing going on, or it could be your RAM has just taken a crap, and then when that happens, the computer just goes, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to shut myself down. But, it could be a power supply thing as well. If the power supply loses enough power, it will just shut itself off. So it could be something like that. You could definitely check those things out. Peter Brooks, what about using a thumb drive? For what? For transferring song files, song folders? Song folders are big because they contain audio data. Audio data is massive. MIDI data, it's not so massive. If your songs comprise entirely of MIDI and no audio files, then yeah, you could probably do that. But song folders tend to be pretty big. Particularly if you've got a lot of audio data in there, or you've got lots of plugins that you've used that, the settings for those plugins are stored in the songs folder. So lots of stuff like that gets stored in the songs folder, and they can get pretty big. And, obviously the higher the sample rate that you are working at, the bigger the file size. So if you are recording and mixing at 96 kilohertz even, then your song folders are going to be massive. If you're working at 192, your song folders are going to be massive. Probably too big for a thumb drive. But certainly things like your sound sets, virtual instrument libraries, you can probably move those using a thumb drive or an external USB plug-in drive. I have several of those. Let's see. Bob says, this is actually a good segment for a future show. How to recover third-party VSTs on a new computer. I guess, maybe. I know it's kind of like an important issue, but really, it would be hard to demonstrate. Because what you need to do with third-party VSTs is you have to just go to your user, your user accounts with the manufacturers. So if you have FabFilter plugins, you're going to have to go to FabFilter, log into your account, and kind of download them all again. Same with Plugin Alliance or Waves or Slate Digital, whatever it is. You're going to have to go to each one of your user accounts and download them and activate them all over again. And in some cases, you might find that some manufacturers will only let you have one activation of their licenses, in which case you're going to have to remove your previous activation and in order to be able to activate on your new computer. So check those kind of things out. I know that there are some manufacturers that only give you one activation, and some will give you two. Like Plugin Alliance, I think will give you 3 activations, of their plugins, and FabFilter will give you a few different activations as well. So so that you can kind of move things from one computer to another. iLock is another good option if you're able to get your plugins onto an iLock device. I've got one of these guys, which I never use, I'll admit. But I've got one of these funky little iLock devices, and this has got all my Slate Digital stuff on it, which is fun because I no longer have an account with Slate Digital for a very long and complicated reason. But I've kept the iLock because you never know when it might come in handy. There are, things like SoundToys plugins, they require an iLock. And I have Echo Boy and things like that. So I suppose I should probably just get them onto my iLock device, if not onto something like, the iLock Cloud version. I could do that. Peter Brooks says 500 gig thumb drive. Well, if it's a 500 gig thumb drive, then you're fine. You can transfer your song folders. But here's the thing. If you are moving songs from one computer to another, you have to... Let me make sure that I get express this in the clearest possible terms so that everybody understands this. Because there is a lot of mythology about this. If you are moving a song from one computer, let's say I'm recording a song here on my Windows computer and I want to move it over to my Mac over here. It's no good just uploading the .song file to my thumb drive and then plugging the thumb drive into my Mac and then trying to open the song. The song will open, but I will get an error message saying you have missing files or missing devices because there are plugins on my Windows machine that I don't have on my Mac. So if I've used any of those plugins on my Windows machine, but not, and I open the song on my Mac, then those devices are going to be missing because they don't exist on that computer. And Studio One just goes, oh, I don't know what these plugins are. I haven't got a clue. What am I supposed to do with those? And it will just chuck up an error message saying these are missing. Same with the actual audio events. The actual audio events are not stored in the .song file. They are stored in the song folder. And you need the whole song folder. I can show you kind of what I mean. If I go to, let me see, let's go over here. So here's my songs folder. And my songs folder actually has another songs folder within it. And these are all a whole bunch of test songs. And then there's some other files in here. These are kind of like podcasts that I do for people. But each one of these songs, let's just find one that I can open up for a second. For example, let's say Silent Night. I think Silent Night is just... so here's the song folder for Silent Night. Okay? The Christmas Carol. I did an arrangement of this, which I put out a couple of Christmases ago. Maybe 3 Christmases ago. But all of this here is essential for the song file here, the Studio One song file, to actually work. In order for this to work, these need to be in place. So if I wanted to send this Silent Night song to my Mac, I would need to zip this entire folder. This one here, I'd have to go right click this, and then I'd go send to compressed folder. And then once I've done that, I've created a zipped folder. Then I can put that on my thumb drive, and then I can put my thumb drive in the Mac, and then I can unzip that folder, and then I can load up that song, and everything will be there. I will not get that missing files error. I might get missing devices errors because I'm using plugins that may not exist on my Mac that I've used in this song. So that's the only error that I'm probably likely going to get. But you cannot just go, I know what I will do. I'll go in here and I will just send this. I'll just go right click and I'll send with transfer to Dropbox so that my friend can go and open this song. No, that won't work. You have to create the whole, you have to compress or zip up the whole folder and send the whole folder in order for whomever you're sending it to, or if you're opening it up on another computer, in order for that to work. That is the only way it works. And the reason why that is because the song data contained in these folders here are not stored in Studio One. And they are not stored inside the program, and they are not stored inside the executable file here. A lot of people think that when you save a song in Studio One, you are saving it inside the program. No, you're not. You're saving it to wherever you have your Studio One options, locations, user data pointed to. I have mine pointed to d:/songs on my Windows machine. So I know that all of my songs are going to be in here. And so when I hit save on this song, Dig Myself a Hole, it will save that song in that song folder for Dig Myself a Hole. Okay, so I hope everybody understands that, because that can be a little bit of a tricky one. But I wanted to get that out there. Let's see, 500 gigs would work to store a project. However, running a project from a thumb drive would not work. Correct, because they are too slow. That is absolutely 100% correct. Thumb drives are way too slow for actually running your project or running a song from. Some external hard drives are also too slow. So you need to check the spin speed. Thumb drives are just, forget trying to run a song. Like if you open the song from that thumb drive and then try and play the song, add to it by recording or whatever, the transfer will be too slow. You'll get CPU spikes, you'll get dropouts, you'll get crackles, pops, the works. All the stuff that we hate will happen to you. This, because the data transfer, reading and writing is way too slow. So if you share your song on a thumb drive on my Mac. I need to get that off that thumb drive and onto the Mac itself before I start working on it. I don't want to be working on it whilst it's still effectively streaming to and from that thumb drive. Who was that? ENNBR. I think you're new to my show as well, but you have made an excellent point. Absolutely right. And as I said, there are some external hard drives that are actually too slow. So check the spin speed. An external hard drive must be 7200 RPM. 5400 won't cut it. They're too slow for real-time audio processing. We know that in Persona support. We get tickets on it all the time, and they say, oh, I've got high CPU problems, and I've got dropouts and all of that. And then we go and look in their system file, and they have a 5400 RPM spinning hard drive, either on board or an external drive, and they're just not fast enough for real-time audio. You need a 7200 RPM drive, either internally or externally. And actually, much better would be an SSD, a solid-state drive, because those are very definitely fast enough. So if you're going to have a hard drive, make sure it's a 7200 RPM spinning drive, or an SSD. SSD will definitely do the job. But yeah, thumb drives, little, USB thumb drives don't tend to have a fast enough data transfer rate. And so don't try and run your song from them. But yeah, ENNBR is making some excellent points. So please pay attention to him or her. Let's see. Cool. And with that, the questions have run out at this point. So, SSD rocks. I got that on my Mac Pro. Yeah, I have SSDs I have 2 SSDs internal on my Windows machine, and I have 1 internal on my Mac as well. So those are what is going to work best for you for audio processing speeds. But yeah, I think we are at the end of the show, folks. It is 3 minutes before 1 a.m. here. I'm absolutely wasted. I'm amazed I'm actually stringing sentences together here. So, folks, thank you very, very much for coming. And I will see you on Wednesday for Songwriting Simplified over on Jonny's channel, Home Studio Trainer. Hopefully it will be over on his channel. I'm not entirely sure, because I know that Jonny is having some kind of physical therapy at the moment. So yeah, make sure to check out the advertisements that Jonny and I will put up in the songwriting group, if you're in that group, or the Home Studio Trainer group itself. So check those out, and it'll either be over on his channel or it'll be on mine, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, and I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. Good night. Everything's against me, my back against the wall, holding all the worst cards I feel 2 feet tall. I'll stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole.
Now I'm hanging tough, and I'm never falling back. When defense fails, I'm going on the attack. I stand and shout, no holding